Afternoon, guys. So today I was going to be cleaning up my new tins, front and rear fender, for the bike. It's a 2002 Triumph Bonneville America, but I've come out to the bike this morning to replace a fuse because my 10 amp fuse popped yesterday, so I've got no brake lights or indicators or horn. So I've changed that out. That works. But I've noticed, I don't know if you can see, my float bowl at the bottom is pissing out, and it's actually started to chew into my paintwork, God's sake. So today's task is to remove the carbs and give them a clean and replace the seals. I have got a kit that I bought about a week ago, so I was going to do this job anyway, so I might as well do it today. It's Sunday afternoon, it's absolutely belting it down. We've got that storm on the way, so what I'm going to do, because I haven't seen any of these videos on YouTube for this bike, I'm going to do a video to show you how to take your carbs out, clean them, strip them down and put them back together. As I said, it's a 2002 Triumph Bonneville America. So what I've done is, you'll have to bear with me because I've got my phone torch, I've got my camcorder in my other hand. So what I've done is I've disconnected the battery, took the battery out. Okay. Now what you need for that is a 5mm. I don't even know what you call them. Hex head. You need a 5mm for the main bolts that go into the cover, and then you need a 4mm for that one there which holds the battery plating. Okay, 10mm spanner on the battery terminals for that. So that's all out. Them are at one side. So now what I've got to do is I'm just going to label up the pipes and everything. So I'll make sure that everything goes back in the right place. Now this is the left hand side of the bike as you look at it, which is the clutch side. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is that little screw there. I don't know if you can bloody see this. I'm trying to balance it. That little screw at the bottom there, right, that one there is a number 3 on them hexes. So a number 3 fits in there. Now that drains the petrol out to empty it, to empty your carb. So obviously I'm going to turn my tap off in the off position, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that screw there. Well, you can see I've got petrol there as well, but this is where it's blowing here. So it's that seal across there. So I have got a kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark these up, so I know that I'm back in the right place, and then we'll get it out. So I've got to remove the passenger seat and my seat first. So it's an 8mm spanner for the nut at the back of the bike, which is that one there. That's an 8mm, so that one's nearly out. So I'm going to take this off, and then I'll take the front seat off, and I'll show you what spanner you need for that. So just give me 2 seconds and I'll get this off. Right, so the passenger seat's off. I've put the bolt back in so I don't lose it. That's an 8mm, and when you take that out you push the seat forward slightly and it disengages from that pin there. So push it forward, it unclips, and then lift it off. This is 12mm for the driver's seat. So I'll just take that out. I know I'm probably telling you guys how to suck eggs, but there's people out there who don't know, who've just bought these bikes. So right, that's 12mm, okay, and then you just lift your seat up and pull it backwards, keeping your hand underneath so you don't scratch your paintwork, and just pull it backwards and it lifts out. And there's your airbox filter. So I'm just going to pop my seat bolt back in just to keep it safe. Now what I'm going to do is on your airbox, your air filter's in there. You've got three bolts there. You've got to take this cover off with one of them hex heads again. I think that's a number 5. So you take this off. I'll just put the bolt back in so I don't lose it, and then you'll get to the other nut bolt, which is about there. Okay. That down there, I think that's 8mm as well. These, so I'm going to take these off now. Okay. Right. So that's the airbox cover taken out, and it is an 8mm socket for them three bolts. So I've taken those out. Can you hear the rain outside? It's a thunderstorm. Right, so the air filter comes out, and there's the air filter. And that's quite clean. Now, the idea of doing this is so when you disconnect your carburetors, you can actually, that rubber there on the back of the carbs, this is the right hand side now. So I'm on the right hand side of the bike where the rear brake is. That rubber there, you'll be able to push it back inside here a little bit, just an inch, just to give you a bit of room so you can slide your carbs out. So I'm going to disconnect these now. There's the electrical connections underneath. Don't worry about getting them the wrong way around, because they are totally different fittings. One's a bullet fitting, which is that one there, and one's a spade fitting on the carbs. You've got one on each side. So I've taken them out, and I'll start to break the carb down. Right, so when you want to drain these down, and you got that little number 3 hex nut in there, these are my deal. You can get these from Screwfix. I'm just like a little plastic tool insert, you know, for bits and pieces that you put in the toolbox for screws and little bits. So if you shove that in there, it's bloody awkward. There's a pipe in the way, and if you can get it underneath there like that, it'll catch the petrol that comes out. So all you do now is you get your number 3 into there, and you open it up all the way and get the bloody thing in. Just crack it first. Yeah, you'll see it start to come out. Bloody awkward. There you go. So get that in there. Make sure it seats in properly, because you don't want to strip it. Yeah. And then as you turn it, it'll drain the float down. Yeah, let's get some light in there. Can you see it? So what that's doing now is it's draining the petrol out of your float bowl. And you do that for both sides. Just throw the petrol away, don't keep it, just throw it away. That's stopped now. Right, so there's no fuel in that. I've emptied that bowl. You just do it with your fuel tap, your petcock. Just turn it off there. So I'm going to do the other side. I ain't going to bore you with that, but it's the same process with the other side. Number 3 hex, catch the petrol, drain it down, and then just close it. And that's it. Right, so the one on the right hand side of the bike, the foot brake side, was a lot easier to get to. There, so that's drained down now. Now, if, like me, you're one of these people who can't remember bugger all when you're doing jobs like this, just get a bit of masking tape and just write on them, right hand or left hand, just so you don't get these connections the wrong way round. I'm gonna do it with this one as well when I take that off. So basically, what we got to do now is undo those two. Now those are security fittings. Okay, so I'm going to undo those, take those off this side. We've got the same on the other side, so those all come off, I think. Hang on, let's have a look. No, there ain't one on the left hand side of the bike. So just double check. I don't want to give you misinformation. So, left hand side of the bike. Yeah, there ain't one here. It's that there. So, I'm going to undo these bolts here, flathead screws, for the two clips. That's a spring loaded one, so that should just pull off. So when those are slackened off and the other side is slackened off, pull this off, it should become free. And then obviously we've just got to take care of the throttle cable assembly up here. So I'm hoping I haven't got to take the tank off, but I might have to take the tank off to do that. I'm not sure, I'll have a look. It's not a problem if I've got to take the tank off, it's only one bolt, it's only that one. I think that's a 12mm as well, so you take that out. Disconnect your fuel pipe, catch any drips, it's turned off. You've got to breathe the hose underneath as well. And then the tank just slides forward a little bit and then you can lift it up. If you've got to take the tank off, you're going to have to take the console off. Right, so it's quite an involved process getting this. You know, it's one of them jobs where you've got to do 20 jobs before you can get to the one job that you need to do. Okay, so I'll come back to you in a sec. Right, the best way I've found of getting these rubbers out that connect the carb to the engine is take the two Jubilee clips off completely, just undo them with a flat screwdriver, and then get yourself one of these ratchet clamps. Clamp it to the back of the frame, to the top of your pot, clamp it up, and that will push the carburettor back into the airbox where that rubber is there. You've got a spring Jubilee clip there. Push it in and that will give you enough room there to just pull the thing out. Now I have got a new pair of these that come with the kit. What I'll do is the kit that I've got for the carb and these, I'll put a link and a price in the video for you, so you know if anybody needs them, they can get them. You've got to take off the choke. Sorry, the oh bloody hell, mine's gone blank. The accelerator cable. Right, that's the front. Okay, and then obviously at the back you've got a return. Right, so that's the front. So what I've done is I've just labelled it up front. Right, because obviously you go one way and then it comes back up. So you've actually got two cables on these. So this is the left hand side, which is the front. The right hand side is the return. Okay. So I'm going to get the other rubber off now. Wish me luck. So after a lot of swearing and cussing, we got it out. Okay, so there's the carb. So I have got a kit now to replace the seal in this. So this is the kit. You can buy it off eBay. Again, I'll put a link. Ignore the Kawasaki. This is the right one. And basically, what you get in here is you get the seal, you get the needle, you get the float. Well, the little pin that goes at the bottom of your float bowl. You get a spring, a little washer, and a little rubber washer. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take off these 4 bolts. Luckily enough, somebody's replaced them with stainless steel ones, a number 3 hex. So them should come out relatively easy. If you've got Phillips ones on there, Phillips heads, cross heads, good luck, because I'm a bastard to get out, because they weld themselves in. So you might end up having to get the Dremel and just put a slot in them so you can get a flat screwdriver in to get them out. My advice to you is, what I'm going to do with this is just spray a bit of WD-40 or GT85 just on them and leave them 10 minutes while I go and have a fag and a cup of tea. Just to try and release them, help release them. Hopefully they'll come out easier then. But yeah, luckily enough, somebody's changed these. What I will be doing as well is replacing the pot covers. Again, somebody's put stainless steel ones in here. Okay, I haven't got those yet. I don't know whether to paint these, actually clean them up and paint them, but they do some nice ones on the internet. So I've got some carb cleaner. I'm going to clean all this crap off it and everything, and maybe get the Dremel on it and just clean it all down before I put it back together. So I think I'll do that first. I'll get some carb cleaner on it, clean it. The diaphragms inside, they seem alright. These slide up and down okay. There's a tiny little bit of scoring on that one there. So I might take the tops off and just have a look at them, and obviously service them while I'm at it. Just clean everything. But that one goes up and down perfectly fine on that needle there. There's a little bit of resistance on that one, so I might get that one out and just have a look. I might have put the spring in on the piece. There's a spring inside there. If that's on the piece, you can push it one way or another. I'm gonna get that out, but I'm gonna give it a clean first. Get the rubbers off, because obviously you don't want to get carb cleaner on any of these rubbers. I'll take a couple of photos just so I know that you know exactly where these go back. That pipe there, this one which I've put left hand fuel, goes to that nipple there. So that pipe goes from the bottom of that carb to the top of that one. Okay, this as you see it, where that dimple is there, and your throttle there, that's on the left of the bike. So this is actually the back, this is the air filter side. That's the engine side. So just remember that, the orientation of everything when you take it apart. Because God help you if you put it back together the wrong way round. Because you'll be blowing and sucking instead of sucking and blowing. Okay, right, I'm going to give it a clean up and then I'll come back to you after when it's all disassembled already. Okay. Okay, welcome back. Right, the carb's off, it's on my workbench. The 4 stainless steel bolts, there they are, are not a 3 or 3mm. They're actually a 2.5 on this one. They might be different on yours, but this is what's worked for mine. So there's your float bowl there. And what we've got is we've got to take, there's a pin in there which you push out that way. So the pin slides out, as you can, I don't know if you can see that, see? You slide the pin out, take the pin out, we'll give that a little clean. and then you've got your float bowl which lifts off, and that's that little needle there, and if you can see it, that black tip on the end, that can wear as it goes up and down, and obviously what that means is it goes up and down further than it should do. So, but inside the carb it doesn't look too bad. I am going to clean it because there was a bit of crap inside that came out when I turned it upside down. There was a load of dirty muck come out of that fitting. Right, so if I show you my bowl, that's what's actually come out my carb, and it was dirty. Obviously some of that's off the surface of the carb, cleaning it, just giving it a spray with a carb cleaner, but there was some of that came out actually of that hole there, which is your runoff pipe, your overflow. So that just goes to the floor. I'm going to give it all a clean. You can see there's a bit of muck around the perimeter there, look. This isn't the one that was leaking, that's the one that's leaking. But I've started with this one, just so I can get a look at everything inside. I'm going to give everything a good clean. Right, so I'll come back to you in a bit once I've started to put it back together with the kit. There's the kit, as I said. That's the new kit for it. So as you can see, you've got the seal, you've got the new float there, the bowl, the pin for the float bowl, and obviously the jet there, so that will be being replaced. So that jet there is that one, I think, or that one's one or the other. Okay, I'm going to take them all out and clean them. So, right, we'll be back in a bit then. Okay, so I've rebuilt that one. That one's done now. That's the right hand side, which is the foot brake side. This is the one that was leaking. I've taken the float bowl out, took the pin out, replaced the little needle there, that little needle that goes in there, with an 8mm spanner. I've undone that, which is the main jet. I've stripped that out and I've cleaned that. So just bear with me and I'll show you what this looks like. So it's two pieces. You can undo that top bit there with a flat screwdriver. We'll leave it in for now. You unscrew it and you'll see that is your main jet. Now I don't know if you can see the holes. So obviously you've got to make sure that the holes are clean. There's no muck in there. So I've just squirted some carb cleaner down this end and made sure that all of those 3 holes, well 12 holes all the way around, are clean, spotless. I've taken that out and cleaned that as well with carb cleaner, and that just goes down inside there. So that goes in there, that is where your needle is, in there. So you locate that over there. Just trying to just make sure there's nothing going to drop out when I do it. Yeah. So everything's in there. So you put that back in there, slot it over your needle, tighten it down and just nip it up. I couldn't find any torque settings for any of these, but just do it FT, fully tight. I'll just nip that up like that. And it's just a case of putting the new seal on and tightening everything down. Your other jet is the one that's in that screw there, and you just use a screw, and it's these. That's what you get in your kit, your new jet. that needle there. Sorry, not jet, your needle. So when you get that, you get a spring, a metal washer, and a little rubber O-ring. Right, so you put the spring on first, on here, then you put the metal washer, and then you put the O-ring on. You turn the carb upside down, so you're actually screwing this in up like that, so nothing falls off. And the rubber locates on a little ring inside, and that seals it. Okay, and then you do the same thing when you put these on. If you try to put that on now, the rubber will just drop off. So hold it like that, turn your carb upside down, offer this up to it from the underneath, and just obviously then turn it over and put your 4 bolts in, and that's it. That's the carb rebuilt on the bottom side. Right, so I'm just going to put that back together then, and then I'm going to have a look at the top, just make sure them springs are okay. Right, I'm hoping you can see this okay. I've done the one side completely now, which was the one that was giving me trouble, which was this one, and all these were a little bit loose, so I've done them up fully tight, and the bottom ones were where the float bowls are. So I haven't done this one yet, so I've set the camera up so just so you can have a look. So this is that 2.5 hex, and obviously yours will be different. You might have Phillips heads, you might have, I don't know, slotted screws. It's whatever is in yours. If it's from the factory and they haven't been stripped before, they'll be Phillips heads. Just be careful with them, because it's so easy to knacker the heads on them. So you might need to, like I said, put a slot in them so you can get a flat screwdriver in. Right, so you've got these 4 small bolts. Hold the pot down because there's a spring inside and you don't want it flying off. Right, now obviously this is the top of your carb. This is the right hand side, which is the foot brake side. So when you take your pot off, that's your cover. Okay, it's nice and clean, that is, but I'll give it a little spray of carb cleaner. You've got your spring, which is that one. Don't compress it, don't twist it, just be careful with it. This is your diaphragm. Okay, and when you lift that out, inside you've got that needle there. Right, now don't make the mistake that I made just when I put that one back together. You put that in to there first and then you put that in on top, and then the spring sits on top of that, and that's what holds this down. Because when I turn the carb upside down, this just dropped inside because I got it the wrong way around. But anyway, yeah, so just have a look at these. You've got the fins on there, right? If I'm a little bit in places shiny and a little bit marked up gnarly like that, just get yourself a fine Scotch pad, very fine, because you don't want to put scratches in this, right? And just give it a little buff up like that, and all you're doing is putting a polish surface on it. You're just getting the crap off, because you need this to slide up and down nice and easy. So just give it a little clean up. If you want to put a little bit of carb cleaner on, you can, just to give it a little bit of lubrication. Do the rounded part as well. Just give it a light little flick over. Just give it a clean. I should be wearing gloves for this, but anyway, I've just had my dinner, so can't be arsed. Yeah, so just give it a little clean, wipe it over. You ain't got to be too mad, because you don't want to be scratching it up, but you just want to be taking some of the surface residue off. Okay, And just run your finger around the inside of the hole. You'll see. I'll show you this. I'll take it out the voice. Right. That's the hole there, and obviously you've got these two slits. And what you want is you want this to slide in and out there effortlessly. So there's no binding at all. It's got to be nice and smooth action. Okay. As I said, I've done that one. And that one's fine. Okay, so that's all you want to do. Just give it a little clean up. Make sure there's no muck on it before you reassemble it. Right. If you're going to put it in your voice, just finger tight, because you don't want to distort anything. Just give it a little spray over again with your carb cleaner. Angle it away from your rubber, because you don't want this diaphragm to get any muck, any of this cleaner on it, just in case. I know them designed to work in conjunction with petrol and that, but you don't want to take any chances. So I'll just clean it out, make sure there's no shit inside here, and there ain't, because I've already cleaned it up. Okay, just feel inside, that's nice and clean. There's no scratching on the inside of that one, so that's fine. Just give it a little test, just drop it in. Now when you do these, it's important that you do one at a time. Don't strip it down and put it back together, just in case, because you see these three dimples here, right? These face towards the airbox side, so to the back of the bike. Okay, so when you assemble this, the dimples go to the air. I don't know whether it makes any difference or not, I really don't. I would imagine it does actually. Let's have a, yeah, it won't even fit in there. So yeah, it'll only go back in one way. Yeah, it will. Yeah, the fins are offset. Yeah, so it'll only go back in one way anyway. So, but yeah, the dimples go towards the airbox filter. Okay. Right, so that's done. I'm just going to give this a little clean up now, just where the diaphragm sits, just with a bit of spray, just a bit of cleaner. So, just get in the groove. There's a groove all the way around here, and that's where your diaphragm sits. Your diaphragm has got like a little lip on it that sits in that groove. Right. If it doesn't, when you put your plate on, you're gonna squash it. You don't want to squash it. So just gently ease the rubber into that slot all the way around. And obviously just make sure you got no holes in your diaphragm, there's no, no muck or anything in it before you put it all together. It's bloody awkward, these. You get half on it in and then it pops out again. See what I mean? go all the way bloody round it, then it pops out. See, pinching it all. And this bit pops out now. Stay. That's it. Right, yeah. So when you assemble it, as I said, don't make the mistake I made. Put your pin back in first. Again, just give that a little clean. Make sure that there's no muck on it. Be very gentle with this because you don't want it to bend. Okay. So you drop your pin in like that, and you put this white plastic part in that way down with the legs and the feet facing down. So that goes down first. Then you spring on top of that white plastic fitting. and you put your top on. And that's all there is to that. You've got 3 little tabs there that obviously locate into the centre of your spring. Make sure it's in nice and straight. Make sure your diaphragm is where it needs to be, so you end up with metal touching metal, and you're not trapping the diaphragm. Just pop your screw in just to hold it. And that is basically how to rebuild your carburetors. Okay, do one at a time, be methodical, be systematic, lay all your parts out on your workbench so you don't get mixed up. Take photos with your camera, with your phone I mean, just so you know where everything goes back, because there's nothing worse than coming to the end of a job and finding out you've got, you know, nuts and bloody washers and everything. I mean, you know, if you look at the state of these were quite mucky. There's a lot of muck on them, especially them, the tips were black on these, and them needles. So obviously we've replaced the needles. As I said, when you put these needles in, you got the needle, you got the spring, then you've got the metal washer, and then you've got the tiny little rubber washer, like that. And then when you put them in, you put them in that way round. So you hold that up, offer them up so nothing drops out, and just tighten it down. Again, there's no torque settings on these, so just do it, you know, hand tight, so nothing moves. And that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean these pipes up and get everything put back together, and then struggle to see if I can get it back on the bike. So wish me luck with that. So you can join me in a bit when I get that far. Okay, got the carbs back in. They're all connected back up now. Bit of a struggle to get them in, because I've put new rubbers on there on the front. In order to get the right hand side cable in, the throttle cable, I had the carbs this side. I'd got a little bit more room to thread it through. Then I got it in without these on, located it into the rear airbox rubbers, and then what I did very carefully was use the clamp and sort of positioned it up here, up there, to the back of here, and just gradually clamped it up a little bit, and that pulled the carb in and compressed this rubber enough for me to get that rubber onto this part, and then when I released it off a bit at a time, I could locate it onto there. I did the same that side. Bit fiddly, could have done with somebody else to give me a hand, but the battery's all connected up now. That's all done. The 10 amp fuse that popped yesterday, which took out my indicators and my bright light and my horn, that all works now. So the indicators and my bright light, that all works. So all there's left to do now is to fire it up. I'm expecting it to be a little bit ropey, a little bit poppy, because it's going to need adjusting again, fine adjusting. I had the carbs balanced a couple of weeks ago and she ran fine. Whether I've adjusted anything or not, I don't know. I'm going to have to try it now. So wish me luck. Let's see what we've got. So we've got fuel. The fuel's in. Give it a little bit of choke. Here we go, fingers crossed. Okay. Well, paying to the fuel shouldn't be. Okay, there's a little bit of a puff now and again, so I think I'll get Daz out and he can come and come and set him again, come and balance them. They obviously need balancing. So, and then we'll set the idle on it as well. But no, everything appears to be. All the seals appear to be tight. There's no leaks or anything that I can see. I'll keep an eye on it over the next hour. Leave the fuel line on, make sure that everything's okay. Breathe the pipes on. I'm just going to double check that that ain't trapped when I put the tank back on, just in case. Because if the breather pipes kinked, that can. No, that's loose, that's fine, that is. The breather pipe's fine. I can feel that. All the way up to the tank. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So it appears everything's alright, it just needs a bit of an adjustment now. So, but what started it off, funny enough, was that bloody 10 amp fuse. So if it hadn't have been for that 10 amp fuse popping on me yesterday, I doubt I'd have noticed this leak. So everything happens for a reason, guys. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll put a link at the end of the video for the parts that I've bought for this carb. As I said, I've replaced the two rubbers at the front, which are these. There's nothing wrong with these, but my mate does advise that sometimes that can split. Oh yeah, look, there's a bit of a, it's just starting to go there. And he says, you know, if you're doing it, you might as well just replace them for what they am, you know. So replaced them, new clamps. That's the carb kit. I'll put the eBay link on where I had them from. It says Kawasaki there. I was a bit dubious, but when I checked with the supplier, he said no, that these are the ones for Triumph. So brilliant. So yeah, just got to have a clean up now, and I've been a mess. But there you go. That's the carb clean and rebuild and new needles. Cleaned all the jets out, reassembled, and this is a 2002 Triumph Bonneville America. It's only got 8,800 on the clock. that 496 on there is the mileage I've actually done on it since I bought it. So yeah, I'm chuffed with that. It's the first time I've done a carb. So, well, a motorcycle carb. I did one on a MGB Roadster years ago. Restored a car years ago. But yeah, no, that's gone okay. A little bit fiddly. You just got to be systematic. And just keep an eye on, you know, where everything goes. But other than that, it was pretty straightforward. The hardest part was getting the carbs out and getting them back in. That was the hardest part. All the connections, them just bayonet and bullet connections at the bottom, breather houses, and that's about it. So if you got any questions, just drop me a message or anything like that if you need anything. As I said, all the fittings and everything, it's like these down here. Them are 8mm socket. That's a number 5 Torx or hex head on that to remove that. 12mm there, 12mm there, 8mm on the rear seat. You've got obviously 10mm on your battery terminals. You've got 10mm on your throttle nuts there, your lock nut, to slacken them off so you can get them off. That's really all you need. I did take off this on the right hand side. I honestly don't know what it is. I ain't going to say I do and blag you, because I honestly don't. This, I actually took that off. That's that security. What number's that? T20. So a T20 security. I took that off, and then inside you've got like a little pin that sits in a slot inside here. This one somebody's already put a bit of blue. They've marked it in the past to make sure that that's where the alignment. So it's gone back. There is a connector underneath here, but it was a bugger to, you know, one of them clip connectors. I fannied about with it for about 10 minutes. I couldn't pull it apart, so I just took this off so I could get the carb out. But that's about it. I'm going to give it a little bit of a clean before I put everything back together. I'll do that tomorrow now, because it's absolutely belting it down outside. But yeah, I'll put the links in the description at the bottom for these parts. So if anybody wants to have a go at it themselves, you know, I ain't no professional. I'm just a bloke in a garage just tinkering. You know, so there's going to be some old school guys out there banging their heads up against the wall, screaming at me, "You don't do it that way, no, you don't want to do it," you know. So, but everybody's got their own way of doing things, and it's worked. So, you know, anybody who has a go at it, good luck. If you got any questions, just drop me a message and I'll answer them as best I can. Obviously, if you haven't already got one, get yourself a Haynes Bible for these bikes. They are invaluable. They really are. So I think I'm going to go and have a read of mine now. See if I've done it right. Alright guys, thanks for watching anyway. So I'll try and do a couple of more videos as I do little bits and pieces on the bike. There ain't a lot out there on YouTube for these bikes, unfortunately. So it'd be nice to see a few guys, you know, just doing a few maintenance videos on them. Yeah, you know, I've already done the oil and the air filter and oil change and everything and the brakes on this, but I dare say in the future, in 12 months time, when I do it again, I'll probably just do a quick video to show you. And when I put the Oxford heated grips on as well, them was fun. So, alright then guys, cheers, thanks for watching, take care, see you soon, bye.